Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 11th August 2024. So here I am taking daily edition of Hindu. So let's get started. So today is Sunday. There is no editorial page, there is no opinion page, and there is no text and context. There are very little articles which are important from our exam point of view. We are going to see that. So this is your front page, guys. So in this front page we can see one article. So here you can see the title of this article says Bangladesh Chief Justice quits, Hindu seeks safety. So what is this article talking about? Yes, tell me, what is this article talking about? It is talking about India-Bangladesh relations, right? And especially this article is talking about judiciary of Bangladesh. So till now we discussed about what? Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and we studied that there is political instability in Bangladesh and students are doing protest against government. So all these things we know, but the new thing we need to know here is now judiciary is also facing crisis, not only political crisis in Bangladesh, but even it is facing judicial crisis. Now tell me, in our country, in Supreme Court, who is the highest judge? That is CJI. So in the same way, in Supreme Court of Bangladesh also, we have Chief Justice. Now this Chief Justice resigned. So what is the inference you have to get from this article? Now think and tell me, what is the inference? What you are going to understand here? Come on, think, you can do it. Online students, please give me your ideas in comment box, don't forget. Now tell me, so here CJ had been resigned means what? What is the condition now? Tell me fast. No idea? Okay, so let me explain this article. So first of all, this article is saying that Bangladesh Chief Justice, and his name is Obaidul Hassan. So there is no need of remembering this name, and even you can't remember this kind of names. So just see that Chief Justice of Bangladesh resigned. Why he resigned? Because students, they are protesting even not only regarding Prime Minister, but even judiciary as well. So they are demanding for judicial reforms, and even students, they want these judges of Supreme Court to be resigned, because these people, they are loyal to the ruling party, that is Awami League now. So here not only the government they want to get down, but even they want to get down this Supreme Court judges who are in favor of this Awami party. And now we have to get some 4 to 5 points from this article. So you need to get some standard stuff, okay, solid stuff that you can write in the answers. So first one is judicial accountability. So whenever there is resignation of this Chief Justice, which highlights that even in this Bangladesh judiciary also people want accountability. Not only in executive, but even in judiciary, now the students, they want accountability. And whenever here students, they are protesting to resign the Supreme Court judges, then what happens? So we can understand that in students there is distrust. So they are not trusting this judiciary as well. So this is second important point. So first one is accountability, and second one is public distrust is increasing. And this one here is students, they are actively participating in this political changes. Okay, they are demanding for political changes. That means now here we can understand like more civic engagement is happening, like youth are engaging more because of awareness, because of technology, because of everything. So they are involving to drive some reforms. And this one is, now the problem is with minority rights. As you know that this Bangladesh is a Muslim majority country and Hindus are minority there, and there are atrocities which is going on regarding Hindus. So in yesterday's class we discussed that our Ministry of Home Affairs, which is forming a 5-member committee which is headed by BSF chief to see this issue of protecting of minority rights. So now the question here is, So this protest, they are not focusing on the vulnerability of this minority communities. So they are focusing on only government or only judiciary. So these people who are vulnerable, they are kept aside. And because of this, now there is furthermore increasing of tensions, and even there is increasing of concerns about human rights. So here regarding human rights, you have to see United Nations Human Rights Council, which is international organization which is going to protect the human rights of the people. Clear? So how many points we got? Around 4. And apart from that, we have to see like the simultaneous resignations of university heads. Not only the government, not only judiciary, and even university heads are also resigning to their post. So because of this, we can understand like there is a political and social movement which advocating that systemic change. So here the students, they want to have the change in every arena, like not only in government, not only in judiciary, in everywhere, wherever the government is involved, they want the change now. And what is the response of government? So now here interim government formed by army chief, his name is Yunu, right? So Muhammad Yunus, he is condemning the minority attacks, and as well as he is also acknowledging that the issue of governmental level that could influence the future policy responses. So here if you see in any news channel, we can see like Hindus are attacking and many atrocities are going in Bangladesh. But now interim government is condemning this. They are saying that no, we are protecting the minority rights. So there is nothing which is going wrong in Bangladesh. So in this way, they are showcasing or they are portraying. And next one here is you have to see like this protest should not be escalated to the out of control limit. So now here it is a responsibility of military to take the things in their control. They have to establish peace and order and law and order, peace and stability in this nation. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said. So I think you got at least 4 to 5 points regarding what happens if CJ of so and so country resigned, right? Okay, now let us go to the front page. Yes, is there any important article in the front page? So again, work bill. So already we had detailed discussion on that. So here this article is saying that the joint parliamentary panel which had been formed to see this. So whenever after giving the suggestions, if it is going to be introduced in the house or not, we will be getting details later on. But you have to know what is this recent work bill. So what are the amendments you are proposing? Okay, that's it as of now. And you know that in Israel and Palestine the issue is going on. So what happened here is, so Israel attacked Gaza school shelter. So in that attack, about 93 people had been died. Okay. So overall, you have to read international relations in monthly wise manner. Okay. So that you will be getting all the data in a one article. Okay. So is there any article important here in this city page? Have you gone through? So there is nothing important in the city page today. And in the states page, you can move on. Just leave these classifieds. Yes, here you can say an article. If you are preparing for groups or any other competitive examination, you can get simple facts-based GK questions. So, veteran IAS officer TV Somnathan appointed as next cabinet secretary. So, here you can see who of the following appointed as next cabinet secretary. Like that, you will be getting question for RRB or SSC or banking or even group level examination, group 4 and group 3, you will be getting this kind of questions. But UPSC will not be focusing on that. Okay, here you can see one article. So you have to give answers now. So title says Prime Minister to release 109 climate resilient crop seeds. So what is the keyword? Keyword is climate resilient crop seeds. Okay, climate resilient crop seeds. So where you can study this article from which subject? Climate comes under GS paper 3, environment and ecology. And next, apart from this, we can read this topic from GS paper 3, science and technology. And next, yes, very good, GS paper 1, geography. And next is GS paper 2, governance. So I'll tell you from which subject what are the things that you have to focus on. So from environment and ecology, you have to see climate change is happening, right? So what is the impact of climate change? So tell me, what is the impact of climate change first? What is the impact of climate change? We are experiencing extreme weather events. Extreme weather events. So for example, we have droughts, we have cloudburst, we are having landslides, avalanches. Okay, next. Yeah, heat waves, melting of glaciers, etc. And one big impact here is there is decreasing of agricultural productivity. So whenever there is decreasing of agricultural productivity, what happens? We have to undermine food security. So there will be a problem regarding food security, right? So to address this problem of food security, we need climate resilient crops. Clear? Those crops should be grown in any climate so that we can ensure proper food security. So this is the thing that you have to focus from environment and ecology. And from science and technology, you have to see which kind of technology we can use to produce this climate resilient plants or crops. So here, which technology? We can be using gene therapy. So in this gene therapy, if you want to insert any desired genes, we need to cut the DNA and we have to insert those genes. Again, you have to know CRISPR-Cas9. So already regarding this CRISPR-Cas9, twice the question had been asked from 2018 in your prelims. So what was this CRISPR-Cas9 recently seen in news? It is a gene editing tool. Okay, and next one here is from geography. You have to see areas which are vulnerable to climate change. For example, in our news from last 3 to 4 days, we are reading about cloudburst in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Yes, you have to draw a map and you have to show this extreme weather events. Okay, so here we can see cloudburst. And next one here is we are experiencing landslides in Kerala and Karnataka region, you can show that. And especially in this area, we will be having very less rainfall. So this is drought affected area. Okay. And if you see avalanches, normally in this Himalayan region, we will be seeing avalanches. And if you see increasing of sea level rise or melting of glaciers, so this coast area will be get affected. So like that, you have to draw the vulnerability map of India. Okay. So you have to see which areas are vulnerable from geography point of view. And from governance, so you'll be seeing this topic of hunger, right, poverty. So because of this climate change, so this hunger, this poverty will be getting more or less, more. Okay, so how we are going to address that problem? And apart from that, here zero hunger, okay, no poverty. So they are even sustainable development goals. So we have 17 sustainable development goals. To achieve them also, what are the steps need to be taken? That comes under governance point of view. Clear? So all these are the dimensions that you have to see from this article. Now my question is, why we need climate resilient crops? Tell me why we need this climate resilient crops. So this is about our article now. Come on, you have to give the answers fast. Why we need this climate resilient crops? Online guys. Yes, we can increase agricultural productivity. Next. Yes, we can ensure food security of our country. Next. Yes, we can address problem of poverty and hunger. and we can ensure decreasing of malnutrition in vulnerable sections of society. Next, come on, think. Okay, so we can use decrease of fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides. Very good. Next. Yes, we can increase productivity, less area, more production. Even we can increase nutrition. Okay, so all these points are very important. So in this way you have to think. So let us see what this article is saying clearly so that you will be getting some more insights. So this article is saying that our Prime Minister, okay, Union Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister, he announced that our Prime Minister, he will release how many? 109 high yielding, climate resilient and bio-fortified crop seed varieties. So high yield means if you are sowing in so and so area, so we will be getting higher production or more production. And climate resilient means it can be grown in any climatic regions. And bio-fortified means so we are including some minerals, nutrients, vitamins like golden rice which includes vitamin A. Okay, like that we are going for biofortification through these seeds. So what is the advantage? Enhancing the productivity, and even we can focus on conserving of water and food security. Like that you can add other more important points. So actually whenever we are introducing this climate resilient seeds, it is an important step towards sustainable agricultural practices. And we are promoting higher yields, and we can address this problem of water security. We can go for agriculture even in the very less water available areas. And this one is even now we can focus on research and development so that we can have access to advanced tools so that we can cope up with this change in the climate change. And this one is even we are going to have economic impact. So whenever we are using the seeds, we can go for using of less fertilizers, pesticides, etc. so that the input cost for the farmer will be decreased. And next one is it will be also helpful for increasing of economic growth and as well as stability of our economy, because agriculture is contributing a lot to our GDP, right? And this one is even by this biofortification, we can add some vitamins, minerals which are essential so that we can fight against this malnutrition and we can address this challenge of food security. So actually we are facing a problem called as hidden hunger. So actually in our country, do you know about this PDS system, public distribution system? Under this, subsidized food grains are given to the people who are eligible under National Food Security Act of 2013. But even though they are getting food grains on subsidized prices, but there is hidden hunger. Hidden hunger means nothing but there is malnutrition. So they are not getting essential micronutrients. They are getting only macronutrients but not micronutrients. They are not getting such a balanced diet. Okay, it is a problem. So to achieve this problem of hidden hunger, to overcome this problem of hidden hunger, we need to go for nutrition enhancement like biofortification of crops. It is very, very essential for country like India. And next one here is even we are seeing that Prime Minister is actively involving. That means so our government side also they are focusing on innovation in this agriculture. We can understand this. And even we can see like in future, whenever now actually we are going for more exploitation of groundwater. So whenever we are going for exploitation of groundwater, what happens? The level of water in groundwater table will be reduced, and even what happens? Soils become very saline. Okay. So in the saline soils, if you go for agriculture, what happens? The productivity will be very less, sometimes even zero. So here in future, if you are having this type of technologies, then future generations will be get benefited. Okay, and even we are trying to engage the community as well. So whenever government is providing some awareness campaigns or government is involving directly in this dispatching of the seeds, here people will be getting more awareness, and even it will be helpful for knowledge sharing and education so that whenever community is actively involving, then we can get maximization of benefits of that so and so scheme. So all these points you have to write. Clear? No doubt, right, so far? Okay. So yesterday I gave you one work to research about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. Yes or no? How many of you did this work? Because in today's class also we are going to discuss that. So here you can see that article PMAY, that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, U is urban component 2.0 to give housing financiers more credit cushion. So this article is talking about housing scheme. So in this housing scheme we have rural and as well as urban components. So both components we are having. Okay, now let us see this article. PMAY, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, it is urban component. So whenever you are getting any scheme, so blindly follow this. So what is the full form of that scheme first? And next one is who are eligible, eligibility criteria. And you have to see under which ministry it comes under. And next one is what are the provisions or features of the scheme. What are the features of the scheme? And next one here is whether it is central sector or whether it is central sponsored scheme. And you have to see what are the advantages and what are the challenges. So if you are having challenges, obviously you have to see what is the way forward or what are the measures you have to take. So you have to make notes in such a way because every year you will be getting minimum 2 to 3 questions in your prelims. And if you are having a good knowledge on the schemes, you can add points in your answer so that you can enhance your answer writing skills. Okay. So in this way, whatever thing you are reading in current affairs, try to replicate them in your answers. Then your answer will be like enriched like anyone's. So no one will be writing that a good answer like you, especially students of mine. Okay. Yeah. So let us see some facts regarding this article. So this article is saying that Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban aims to enhance housing for urban poor, and now under this scheme they increased this budget from 1,000 crore to 3,000 crore rupees. So because of this is in news. So actually now we can understand that there is increasing of finance security. That means what happens, especially now low income groups who are eligible under this scheme, they will be getting more funds so that they can build their house. And next one here is this scheme, it is especially focusing on vulnerable populations, okay, like economically weaker sections who are living in city. If they are having the problem of house or shortage of houses in cities, so here this scheme will be transforming their lives through improving of living conditions. So whenever they are having the house, then obviously we can say like there is improved standard of living. So that standard of living is ensured by the government through this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for this vulnerable sections of society. And next one is government also had a commitment like they are going to focus on affordable housing for the people, and as well as government will be giving long-term investment for the schemes. Okay, so that's it, nothing more. Just you have to focus on this scheme. So Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana scheme, it is a credit-linked subsidy scheme, and this scheme is providing affordable housing. So you have to see this is a keyword, affordable housing, and that too for low and middle income residents across the country. Okay, so that is the thing. And objective is providing house for all in urban areas, and who are eligible were economically weaker sections of people and low income group and as well as middle income groups. So under the subsidy scheme of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, there are 4 components. So first one is they are going to give subsidy for the home loans for this economically weaker sections, low income group and middle income group. And next one is they are focusing on slum redevelopment, especially you know that in urban areas, poor people or vulnerable people, they will be living in the slums. So under this scheme, they are focusing on redevelopment of slums so that there is increasing of standard of living of people. And this one is they are focusing on affordable housing, like even private sectors will be involved here and they will be providing affordable housing with partnership. And fourth one here is beneficiary-led construction. So actually the people who are eligible, they will be getting some money from government so that they can build the houses. So there are 4 components under this. So you may get question on based on these 4 components also in your prelims. Okay, clear? And here you can see this article. So you have to tell the answers for this question now. So read the title. Glacial lakes multiply in Himachal and Tibet, poses threat to lives and infra downstream. So what is this article? It is talking about glacier lakes. What is the meaning of glacial lakes? Water in? Wow, very good. Tell me. Okay, lake is formed by a glacial water. How? Why? Yes, melting of glaciers. Okay, so this article is talking about glacial lakes. So where we can read this? From GS paper 3, environment and ecology, and from GS paper 1, geography. In geography, I think you have studied about the landforms formed by glaciers. Tell me, drumlins. Next, tan lakes. Tan lakes, have you heard this? No? No idea. Tillets, glacial tillets in continental drift theory you might have studied. Yes? Okay, so after this class, just go to the topic of landforms formed by glaciers. There you will be seeing depositional landforms and erosional landforms. So actually, if you are having a glacier, so whenever there is increasing of temperature, what happened? Ice will be started melting. So if there is any depression on this glacier, so it will be filled by this melted water. So they are called as now glacial lake. So this article is talking that there is increasing of glacial lake. So what is the meaning of this? Tell me now. What is the meaning of increasing of glacial lakes? Yes, one thing is there is increasing of temperature, or else I can write about due to climate change, right? Apart from that, now what will be the impact of increasing of lakes? So what will be the impact now? Okay, increasing of sea level rise. Next. Okay, impact on biodiversity. Next. Come on, think. What happens if there is increasing of glacial lake? So there might be in future glacial lake outburst flood. So if this boundary had been broken, means the water will gushes out and that will cause glacial lake outburst flood. Next, that happened recently in 2023. Next. Come on, think, you have that capability. It may cause future new disasters. It will affect the sports and tourism. Yes or no? Sports and tourism will be affected. Next. Come on, think something. Okay, let us see this article in detail. So this article is saying that glacial lakes in Sutlej catchment area has been increased. So in 2019, it was, write down this data. In 2019, there was 562 lakes, but now by 2023, this number had been doubled to 1048. So because of this melting of glaciers, it is having impact on lives of people, and even it is having impact on infrastructure due to climate change and glacier melting. And recently this study which is highlighting that yes, there is significant increasing of smaller lakes in these glaciers day by day because of climate warming effects. and actually these are unsustainable. So we don't know like when they will be leading to a flood. So this is very, very important problem. In future, it may cause catastrophic glacial outburst floods. So if you see the insights of this article, it is saying that yes, because of climate change, now we are seeing that there is impact of glaciers. So whenever you are writing that because of climate change there is impact on glaciers, you have to write this example or this case study so that you will be giving a solid example. Yes, this is happening. You will be very confident, right? So if you want to improve your answer writing skills, you need to focus on this type of examples for sure. So here this article is saying that climate impact is seeing on glaciers. So there is rapid reduction of glaciers due to changing weather patterns, and even because of melting of glaciers itself there is increasing of glacial lakes. So here this article is saying that yes, now it is a time to take an urgent actions to mitigate these changes in the glaciers. And next one is, if you see the vulnerability of these regions, so lake formation between this upper Sutlej and as well as lower region, which is saying that this region is affected more by climate change because within a span of years, so within a span of less than a decade, so the number of lakes had been doubled. That means we can understand this area is more vulnerable to climate change and they are likely to face natural hazards, and even there is targeted monitoring and as well as adaptation strategies need to be focused now. And this article is saying that yes, there is increasing of rise of number of lakes here, and whatever the risk that we are going to have is because of whenever this glacial lake. So actually what happens, so if this is a lake, it is having a boundary by the sediments. Suddenly if inflow of water is more here, what happens? So this boundary will be broken and water will be gushes out, so that it is causing a catastrophic flooding. So whenever if there is any dam here, if the water is coming at a very high speed and very high limit, means even this dam will be collapsed. So actually Tapovan dam had been collapsed in 2023 because of this glacial lake outburst flood. So in this way, whatever the infrastructure which is there on this Himalayan areas, also they are vulnerable to this glacial lake outburst flood. Okay, and even as you said, it is having an impact on environment degradation, and even there will be impact on biodiversity. So to this, we need to focus on environment management policies. And even there is a threat of avalanches. So whenever avalanche is happening means obviously there is risk on infrastructure and even communities which who are present in the downstream. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said. Clear? Yes, let us move on to science page. So every Sunday you will be getting science page. So go to the science page thoroughly, at least the articles which are relevant to your GS. Okay, see this article. Record temperatures in Great Barrier Reef seen in last decade. So it is an example of coral reefs. Tell me, what is a coral? What is a coral? Okay. Okay. So types of corals, how many? What are they? Fringing reef, barrier reef and atolls. So this Great Barrier Reef comes under barrier reef. Where it is located? Australia, right? So this article is saying that there is increasing of temperature in Great Barrier Reef. So here whenever temperature is increasing, whether it is causing harm to corals or not? Yes, how, what happens whenever there is increasing of temperature? Okay, what is the meaning of chloral bleaching? So it is saying that increasing of temperature in Great Barrier Reef. Okay, so from which subjects we can see this topic? Yeah, geography. Yeah, environment. Okay, from geography what you have to see? You have to see what is this coral, and you have to see types of corals. In types, whenever you are seeing, you have to see examples as well. So first one is fringing reef, for example, Andaman and Nicobar. Next one is barrier reef, where Great Barrier Reef of Australia. And this one is atoll, where Lakshadweep. Okay. And next one here is, in geography you have to see what are the conditions required for formation of corals. Tell me what are the conditions, what should be the temperature? What should be the temperature? Okay, 20 to 28 degrees. That means, can I relate this condition to the present article? So it is saying that temperature should be 20 to 28. But if there is more than 35 degrees temperature, then what happens, whether this coral reef thrives or not? No. And even, do you know about this ocean acidification concept? So what is this ocean acidification? Yes, whatever the atmosphere, in that atmosphere, what are the carbon dioxide is there, it will be reacting with water and it will form carbonic acid. So for the existence of this coral reef, we need a carbon acidification or not? No, right? So actually one more concept you have to see is, whenever there is increased temperature, there will be so carbon acidification is nothing but carbon dioxide plus water forms carbonic acid. So whenever there is increasing of temperature, now more carbon dioxide will be forming into carbonic acid. That means more carbon acidification happens whenever there is increasing of temperature. So if you see the features, they are saying that there should be no carbon acidification and the temperature should be 20 to 28 degrees centigrade. But here this article is saying that increasing of temperature, it is one factor, and because of increasing of temperature there is acidification. So these two reasons, they are causing a great harm to this corals. So what will be the impact? Impact will be coral bleaching. Okay. So again you have to understand the concept of what is this coral bleaching. In coral bleaching, what happens? Corals, colorful corals, beautiful corals, they become white. And next one here is, what are the causes of this coral bleaching and what are the measures you have to take? So again, this will be one mains question for you. Okay, clear? So now let us see this article in detail. So this article is saying that water temperature in this Great Barrier Reef have reached their highest level in 400 years. From last 400 years, now this year we are having a very high temperature in the water. So because of this, it is going to have lot of negative impacts on health of coral reefs. So this is a thing which mainly said by recent study. So because of this, what happened? Obviously, we can see there will be mass. Mass means very huge level of coral bleaching events that is linked to human induced climate change. So because of this climate change, there is increasing of temperature. Now we are going to expect mass coral bleaching. Am I making any sense here? Okay, so now this article is saying that there is rising of temperature and we have to take urgent steps to address this climate change, or else we are going to lose our marine ecosystem because of global temperatures. And if you see the historical data, so here 1618, so in the 1618 we got high temperature. At that time we had mass coral bleaching, and from that time onwards till today we had 4 mass coral bleaching events. And so that is the thing I said. And next one here is, even we have to control our human activities so that we can reduce this type of negative impact. And even we have to focus on especially Paris Climate Agreement. So in this Paris Climate Agreement, if you are limiting temperature of 1.5 degrees, we can save 70 to 90% of coral. So it is according to the data. So that now each and every country need to take urgent steps to implement that Paris Climate date. Clear? Okay, now let us see next topic. Here you can see one article. A deep drill core unveils new insights into Earth's mantle. Where you will study this core mantle? In the interior of Earth, we have different layers: crust, mantle and core. And in this again we have sub-layers: outer mantle, inner mantle, outer core and inner core. We have different discontinuities like Gutenberg. Which are discontinuities? Between one and one layer? Lehman discontinuity. No idea, everything gone into space. Very good. So Even after this class, you have to see the diagram of its interior and you have to see different layers and different continuities, discontinuities. Okay, so here what is this mantle is made up of? Crust is made up of Sial and mantle is made up of Sima and core is made up of Nife. So this article is saying about those things only, just go and see once. Okay, so whatever you are studying, are you observing in the newspaper or not? Is newspaper relevant? Okay, so this article is talking about new mpox clade IV disproportionately affects children. So mpox is nothing but monkeypox. So we have smallpox, chickenpox, like that we have monkeypox, and it is also caused by virus. Just you have to see what are the signs and symptoms of this mpox. That's it. So these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So while I'm concluding, if you really like this class, please hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends and do subscribe to Rathods Science Academy for more interesting and informative videos.